Hi everyone, and welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. In this episode, we're off to Botany Bay to wrap up the New South Wales Tournament Series, the inaugural series for 2025. This one was held on October 25 and 26 of 2025, which is very confusing, but that's when it was. Anyway, what I'm going to do, roll the intros and get into it. This is a great story. We've got a runaway winner and some really cool information here. So let's roll the intros and I'll tell you all about it.
Welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. This is where you need to be every Tuesday to find out all the latest tips and tricks to help you target bream on lures. You'll get to hear from some of Australia's elite bream competition anglers and see how they were able to achieve their results in competitions around the country. Now, here's your host, the 2019 Hobie Kayak Fishing World Champion, Andrew Deeth.
Okay, so this was the grand final for the New South Wales Tournament Series. So in their first year, I think they've had a pretty good crack at this. And we've seen a lot of people out in the water fishing them. And I think bigger and better things coming for 2026. Anyway, in the Saturday, we had 62 in the fish activity wheel with a minor bite period at 7 through to 8:30. Low tide was at 4:44 at 0.45 and high tide was 11 at 11:15 at 1:52. On the Sunday, we had just 50 in the fish activity wheel with a minor bite period at 7:46 through to 9:16. Low tide was at 5:17 at 0.51. High tide was at 11:50 at 1.48. All right, there's some great stories in this. I did record these a while ago, so I will just get straight into it. Here we go. Okay, so first up in third place, we have Team Bream Brothers. Now, they dropped their bag of 5 fish for 2.92 on the Saturday. Backed it up on the Sunday with 5 fish for 3.66, which gave them a total of 6.58. Put them in third place. With me, I have Aaron Clifton and Simon Moore. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, Andrew.
Andrew, how are you, mate?
I'm very good. Look, a nice result there. We were talking before, you were kind of up 300 grams above fourth place, but just 20 grams behind Dane and Adam.
Yeah, it was look, Dane and Adam, they're good blokes. I was talking to Dane on Friday before the comp started, and we were trying to work out what it might take to win it. So, yeah, happy for him to beat us by 20 grams. He's a good bloke.
Fair enough. And were you guys accurate on what it took to win? Did you have a good guess at it?
Well, we picked the bag weight. We thought if we were looking at about 6.5 kilo over the 2 days, we'd be up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, not counting on first because they're just in a league of their own at the moment, mate. Yeah, we thought 6.5 is going to be thereabouts because it fished so damn hard, pre-fish and everything. So we thought, that was our number. And as you know, day one wasn't glowing, so we made up for day two, thank God.
Exactly. Well, it's interesting because that's the number you picked and you got there even though Saturday was a bit rougher. So, yeah. All right. Let's move into pre-fish and getting ready for the comp. What did you guys do to prepare for the grand final?
Yeah, look, we hit the water a couple of times in the lead up to it. George's River's only about sort of 45 minutes from home, so it's nice and easy to get to. Probably fished it, I don't know, maybe 3 times in the sort of 6 weeks leading up.
Yeah.
Each time we fished it, we knew it was hard. Mm-hmm. Just weren't getting the number of fish that we would normally get. So on the actual pre-fish day, we decided not to pre-fish it. Just thought we'd leave the spots, had a bit of a milk run of places that we wanted to hit. And it was sort of interesting talking to a few other guys on Saturday morning and over the course of the weekend as well. I think a lot of other people did the same thing, decided not to pre-fish it on the Friday and just rest their spots for Saturday morning.
Yeah, okay. It's interesting, look, because I'm local as well. And I found the last, I would say 3 months, really tough, maybe 2.5 months, but it just progressively got worse, I thought, in the Georges until the point where it was very hard.
Hard to get motivated to go out, mate, if you're struggling to catch them.
That's right. If you keep going down, and I mean, definitely was experimenting with different things, but you just keep not getting, decent fish. Yeah, definitely. But I did notice leading into this competition, I fished Woolooware Bay. I fished like the weekend before, and I did okay. So yeah, I thought the fish were definitely on the move.
In a couple of days, maybe just chase dewies for a while, just have a break from the bream and sort of see what we could do. Mix it up, try and bend a rod.
Exactly. And every now and then you chase dewies and you get a good bream too.
That is true.
Very good. All right. So then loosely, what was your plan then leading into day one? What did you think you were going to do?
Yeah, we knew we were going to head up the river, but to be honest, we had a bit of everything tied on. I think we had some crabs, mussels, surface, hard bodies, a few soft plastics as well. So to begin with, it was a case of just trying to crack a bit of a pattern and hoping that nobody was going to be on our first spot. So I think first up, we hit a few edges around Como Bridge and just up the start of the Warrenora River.
Oh, yeah. Okay. How's that been? Did you get fish there?
We spent about an hour and a half in there for one fish, mate, and one bite.
Ouch.
So, yeah, we thought we'd stick it out because we thought they'd have to be there. But, I mean, the other thing too was we thought every man his dog's going to hit the bridges. So by the time we were number, I don't know, 26, 27 off the starting grid. So by the time we would have got up to where we thought, the chances are someone might have glanced or already got the gun spot. So we thought that's what, as I was saying, we hit the banker just up Warrenora, just close to it. If anything's warmer, the couple of hot days recently, have they moved up there? Everything runs through your head pretty quickly at 7 a.m. So.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that bottom stretch of Warrenora sometimes it fires, and then other times I just can't seem to catch a fish there.
Yeah, that was it.
That was you guys. All right.
Part B was it, mate. So, yes.
All right. So after you kind of hit there, where'd you head off to, and how'd you change it up to catch a few?
Yeah, so we pulled out of Warrenora River and headed a bit further upstream. Got a milk run of spots there, sort of further up from Como Bridge all the way up to the Moons. And just started working some edges and some deeper holes. We both sort of like throwing the cranker crabs. Obviously, they're a proven lure, they work. So we moved up to the next spot and started throwing crabs and found that they weren't on the edges, but we were starting to get a lot of short takes just close to the boat, which was a bit painful because you'd hook up, they take drag, and then they just spit it. And we sort of thought they might have been smaller bream, and then finally hooked up. And I think that was our second fish was a 38 tipper.
Okay, solid.
So, so it was a nice one to put in the well. And so we sort of kept working along that bank, just trying to repeat that pattern, and found a few fish holding out a little bit deeper, but just couldn't stay connected with them. So sort of tested the patience a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got any ideas on why that is?
No, not really. I mean, I just thought they were timid. Maybe the tide wasn't moving as aggressively down deeper. Were they a smaller fish and they were just hitting a bit harder? We'd done everything from locking the drag up to try and bury the hook and backing the drag right off where it's like a feather, and none of it seemed to work.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it. We changed crab size. We changed to a plastic. We sort of changed around everything just to try and get one. And I don't know, even the one we sort of hooked, I think the crab might have fallen out in the net. I can't remember, dude. There was just like that right through the top part of his lip. Something, it wasn't even a solid gulp or a smash or anything. She was just a very, very timid bite.
Just a little tick. Yeah, okay. All right. So you got two, and you got one okay one pretty decent, and one little fella, I think. How'd you fill out your bag?
I think by that stage it was probably about 9:30, and we sort of started to see a few boats zooming around, which, by that time sort of tells you people are still trying to find their fish. So we thought, well, there's this fish here. We just need to be patient and like sort of Simon said, hope that with a bit more flow, they might sort of start to bite a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah.
So we just kept on working the same section of bank and eventually started to put a few more fish in the well. I found a few that were all around that sort of 31 tipper.
Okay.
And I think we had our bag probably by a bit after 10 o'clock. And we sort of thought, right, well, that was all right. We had, I think, 3 at 31, a 38 and a 35 tipper. So it was all right. We thought, okay, well, we need to upgrade some of these 31s.
Yeah.
But also found the fish, and then it becomes a bit of a challenge because it's a 2-day comp. You've got to manage your spots right. You don't want to sort of stay on one spot for too long and shut them down.
That's right.
So as hard as it was, we had to leave that spot and hope that no one else hit it and hope that they'd still be on the chew come Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. That is the challenge, like you said. Will your spot hold up? The only thing is, if you're fishing sort of up the edges with fast-flowing current, most of those spots are going to replenish, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the gauntlet runner. We kind of go back to the result, 20 grams. We probably should have stayed there and probably donked another one or two just to try and get an upgrade, mate. So, but I suppose, what you do. You can't sort of, we'd relive a few of those moments, mate. So,
That's it. I mean, it's a hard one because if you move off it and you go somewhere else and you bang a kilo, well, you're a genius. And then if you don't do it and you stay there and get nothing, well,
I mean, that was the idea of us, like as said, with the milk run sort of scenario, mate, is just hit spots quickly for all 5-10 minute blasts and then just try and work out a pattern and obviously where they are. So it was more just move. There you go, one there. Okay, move back, or another one there, and then eventually go back and we can reset and redo. And yeah, and that's all it was. I mean, the spots that we hit on that first day were everywhere. We're all over the shop, all within stretches and very close proximity.
Yeah.
All up to sort of Reesby and up sort of that area. But it's more just stop, hit, and stop and go. And then we worked out what we thought worked and just try to go back to repeat it and keep going with that as such.
Did you work out patterns as to where the fish were holding? Like, were they up high in the column or were they like down in the deeper drop-offs?
Definitely down deep, mate. We would say that they were probably 12 foot would have been the shallowest. We were casting a lot to the banks and we did get brim on hard bodies and all that shallow hard bodies later and all that going for upgrades. But really for us, it was sort of 12 to 25 foot, I suppose. Anywhere in that proximity, we were nailing the banks and we weren't even getting a bite until the things were right at your feet. So,
which is a bit weird because it was, for the most of the day, it was a high tide. It was up around sort of 1.7. So there's a lot of water in the river.
Yeah.
And, to look at the banks, you think, yeah, they're going to be up high for sure in amongst those rocks, sort of trying to get to all those oysters and everything. But it just didn't work for us.
That's it. I mean, one thing, look, I haven't fished there because I was away last weekend, but was there prawns on the edges? Was there bait skipping as you were casting in tight?
Definitely white bait. There was little schools of fish and minnows and whatever, but didn't see any prawns, but definitely white bait. That's what we even put some surface lures on because we thought obviously something might be chasing them or hitting them. And yeah, we were right in the same. As soon as you hit, there'd be a little scatter or shoal goes away, but there was nothing sweeping or no swirls or nothing, no interest.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay. I mean, this time of year, like I would have expected there to be the prawns starting to, like when they're really small, kind of everywhere on the edges, but I haven't seen it, which is why I ask you guys.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it ourselves, mate.
All right. So I take it there was that must have been about the wrap up for your bag.
Yeah, pretty much. So we went, as mentioned, we found what we thought were they there. We left them there for the Sunday, and then we thought our thing for the next 2 hours and a bit was just try and find upgrades. So we just seemed to catch the same size fish no matter where we went.
Yeah, right.
30 tipper, it's a 31 tipper, it's a 29, so we just kept zooming around thinking we fished everything then from shallows, mate, as I said, hard bodies into wharfs, jetties, boat holes, sandbars, whatever you want to call it, we were throwing at it. So
yeah, right. But you just couldn't get that
nothing
that bigger fish.
No. And probably 10 or 12 we still boated, I suppose, for the day. For 10 to 12 brim we would have put in the boat, but they were just that one size. So
I think chatting to the guys at the weigh-in on the first day, everyone had the same story. And you look at the bag weights for day one, I think we were 13th. There wasn't too much between about 5th and 20th. There was, you just needed that one sort of slightly bigger fish.
Yeah.
And it'd bump you up a couple of positions on the ladder. So we sort of knew that it was going to be hard for day two, but just needed to get those sort of slightly better than average fish to give ourselves a chance.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's roll into day two on the Sunday. Tell us about your day. How'd you go about finding the first one?
Straight back to the place that we left. We thought a tide's an hour later. A little bit keen, but obviously we thought we'd caught there, plenty of bites. Let's go back there, try and get our bag early, and then we can obviously work on building it up from there. So we sort of went to, as I said, where we thought they were yesterday. We went straight back up there. I think as within the first 2 or 3 casts, it was only a 26 or 27 tipper. First cast, they're here. This is great. This is the start of it. We can upgrade him. We weren't even going to put him in the well. We're that confident thinking they're all here. And then
wow,
we spent about another hour. Yeah, we didn't catch this bloody brim in that stretch that they were yesterday. So we started scratching our head.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. That is the dilemma. I was going to say after doing comp for a long time, you got to put them in the well, even if they're really little.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. Well, tell us how'd you go about getting the bag? Because your bag was a bit better.
Yeah, bag was better on the second day. When we sort of worked out that they weren't there, we had to reassess the plan. So we moved a bit further upriver more in towards the centre of the river in the channel, and thought we'd sort of try and find a little bit more, a little bit deep sort of rocky terrain and fished that before the current ripped in too hard. And we'd fished there on the Saturday and dusted a couple of fish, but weren't sure whether they were bream or dewies or what they were. But same technique, just fishing crabs, fishing them deep and just pulling them down with the current. And I think we got one or two within that first drift, and they were both good fish. They were both around that sort of 34 mark. So that boosted the confidence. And so, yeah, from there it was a case of, right, well, there was a few other boats zooming around, but we didn't have to sort of compete with anybody else. So we thought, well, let's just sort of fish this spot while ever they're here. We'll keep trying to put them in the well and hope we don't dust too many lures. Definitely left plenty of cranker crabs on the bottom.
Lovely.
But that's why we buy them, right? You buy them to lose them.
That's right. And the technique you're talking about is so effective. Like it catches bream, and sometimes really good bream.
Yeah. And in a tournament, you want to be confident in your technique. You don't want to be second guessing what you're doing. So we were confident in what we were doing. We'd dusted a few the day before. We got a couple within that first drift. So yeah, we thought, well, let's just stick it out while ever they're here. And I think the second drift we boated another couple and dusted maybe one.
Okay. And
then pretty quickly we put a few more in the well as well. I think we had our 5 by about 10:30 or so.
Yeah, 10:30. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was always the plan going into day 2, was just to get your 5. No, knew it was going to be hard, but if we can get 5, anything can happen, right? So
that's right.
They were all fat. They'd been feeding well. Not long fish, but heavy fish.
Yeah, okay.
And it's about weight at the end of the day, right? So
that's right. Yeah, absolutely. With the crabs, which ones are you using? You use just a standard, like a heavy crab, and what colour?
Well, we kind of went through the tackle box as said. We start off with small, and because of the depth and all that, we were putting sinkers on the first day. We didn't have any sinkers with us, so we're cutting jig heads apart and sliding on lines, trying to get the extra weight to get it down there. And then we left our heavy jig heads at home because we weren't planning on doing that on day 1, like heavy crabs at home and everything. So when we came back for day 2, we threw some heavier crabs in and all that kind of gear, and then we actually mixed it up. I had a heavy, Az had a light, and then we kept mucking around with it, but you'd snag up and dust one, and it really wouldn't matter what colour we threw out. We threw everything, UV, cockle, olive, whatever you call it. It didn't really matter. We didn't think it mattered on the colour or that. It was more just holding it around their strike zone and waiting for them to find it in amongst the rubble. I think. Right.
Okay.
I had one of the old black ones that had pimped it up a little bit, just replaced the treble hooks, and had some of the bigger size treble hooks. And I actually think that works a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Just those bigger treble hooks, even though they've got a little bit more weight in them, they've also got a lot more foam in them as well. So tends to leave the hook sort of floating up a little bit more, makes them just that little bit more snag resistant.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that's very cool. All right. You've got your bag. Was there any upgrading?
Oh, yeah. That was high fives, first of all, when we got the bag.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we were stoked. We were stoked with the 5, and we thought, yeah, no worries. And that was exactly it, was the upgrade side. So where we caught the fish, before we moved back there, again, nothing bigger than what we had. I think we got another 34 tipper over in the shallows. Went back to some posts where we seen a couple of good fish. They dumped a couple on a mussel there the day before, so we knew they were eating. We got one good upgrade from there. He was sort of 36, 37, something like that. We put him in, and then so we really, I think we upgraded twice or 3 times, because the smallest one we had was the 26, 27 tipper, and we thought perfect that we got that up to a 28. We got up to a 29, and then obviously, but you would upgrade the one with the 37. You think, well, that's bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you went, okay, sweet, let's go back. Well, the next one's 28. We've just got to work on him now. And went back to where we caught those fish. They were gone, though. Like you said before, I think sort of we kind of fished until they stopped biting, left them, and then went back thinking they might have moved back in, but they'd moved. We just didn't know if it was upstream or downstream, because we would love to be following them. But
yeah.
So, yeah, we upgraded, I think, 3 more times. Not by much. Sometimes it might have been a centimetre here, but there was a couple of good ones that came with it. And then, yeah, they seemed to go off the bite as well, or our usual haunts where they went off as well, mate. So,
yeah, very good. And in the course of the day, did you lose any that you've gone, oh, I wish I'd have got that?
I think everyone loses a couple, right? We've all got those stories where you go, oh, maybe that was the one. Simon lost a couple of good ones on the second day, but when you're fishing deep and you're fishing in current, they all feel good. They all pull hard.
Yeah.
They all try to bury in those rocks. Look, there might have been one in there, but nothing that we actually saw and lost it at the net. Nothing like that. So maybe there was 20 grams that we lost somewhere along the way.
Maybe 25 grams.
Maybe 25, mate.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. I reckon that's a really good account. Look, the in terms of lines and leaders and tackle and stuff, what were you guys running for the weekend?
Well, we fish the crabs up there and we find that usually the dirty water, we're more than comfortable. We throw 8 pound, or it's quite solid enough that the rocks aren't really snaggy. You can sort of jiggle most of your crabs off unless you really bury the hooks into it. But obviously when we started getting deeper, we were doing more crabs too, mate, because obviously the current and the rain underneath. So when we came back on Saturday, we beefed a couple of rods up with 10 and 12 pound leader just to try and try and keep the fish on, I suppose, more importantly. They had the upper hand, mate, in the deep current us the day before. So, and then obviously the first couple we got on the Sunday, mate, it wasn't grab your spool, but it was really trying to give it to them to move them up, half a foot to a metre off the bottom, and then at least you got a shot at trying to get them away from what they're living in. So, up to about 12 pound was the strongest leader we threw. That was only because it was deep, mate. So you're going to do them. I mean, the boys were doing them on rock pylons. It wouldn't matter. Sometimes you have 20 pound if they hit you sweet on an oyster or something that's gone anyhow. But
that's right.
More making the stool presentable that have a crack at it. So
yeah, absolutely. With your rods, you've got anything special that you like?
We got a scatter. We find I've actually got some real weird rods. I mean, I got one of the cheapest rods going around, whether it is, mate, that I love it for crabs. I don't know why, it just resonates with me. And we not that it's branding for us or anything, but we love the Millers.
Yep.
We find them they're just a really good general purpose rod. We can do the crabs and then cutting it off, we'll just put the hard body straight on and throw it over there. So, yeah, the Millers, but honestly, mate, I think once you click onto a rod that you feel comfortable with, that's the one I fish the crabs better with. We were tying leaders out there instead of picking up another rod in the boat that's got a crab tied on it.
Yeah.
And redoing the whole process because we just got used to the way it felt with the bites and everything. So,
yeah,
not so much of a specific rod. Everything has their own, but yeah, it was more, the Millers was probably what throwing out through the day, but mate, there's also, I got probably $120 rod sitting in there that I love for crabs. So I thought it worked perfect. So
yeah. Well, if you like it, that's all that matters. Very good. All right. Like I said, I think that's a pretty good account of the fishing. You came back just 20 grams shy of second place. But what did you guys get to take home?
Yeah, we got $1,596, I think it was, just short of $1,600, which it's a decent payout for third place in a grand final.
100%. That's a great payout. And a good wrap up for the year, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it was good. I think we picked up a few prizes, and I think we just picked up a little bit of coin during the year down at the basin. But yeah, it was good to finish the season strong together. It's been a few years since we've fished comps, but when New South Wales Tournament Series sort of popped up, I sort of thought, let's give it a crack. And glad that we committed to it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, look, last thing before we shoot off, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
I'll probably start by thanking Grant and the team for putting the comp on. It's always a gutsy move, I think, to sort of start a comp out fresh. There's a few Bream comps that are running at the moment, a few that have failed over the years as well. So a gutsy move to start a comp. So shout out to Grant and the team at the New South Wales Tournament Series, and probably to the anglers that backed him as well. It's not cheap to get involved in the tournaments, and when there's a few options available, you sort of got to make a choice which one you're going to take on. But yeah, I think Grant got a good turnout from the tournament boys. So yeah, shout out to everybody and for getting on board with it. Absolutely.
No, it's been a great series and been an interesting one to follow. Very good. All right, guys. Look, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Congratulations again, and good luck in the upcoming season.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Dee.
Thank you. All right, so coming in second place, we have Zeus Tackle. They dropped 3.51 on day one, backed it up with another 3 kilo bag at just over 3 kilos at 3.09, giving them a total of 6.6. And second place with me, I have Tane Tomaszewski and Adam Lacey. Welcome back to the show, guys.
What's going on, DC?
How you going, mate?
Mate, I have but one question, one burning question. Over the course of the weekend, were you casting with confidence?
Mate, I honestly think the top 3 teams were casting with confidence, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of casting.
It's a lot of casting.
with
A lot of
confidence.
casting.
Sometimes we weren't casting with confidence. I'll give you the tip. But
Right,
but yeah, most of
right.
the time it was.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. Just for the listeners who may not know, that is the tagline from Zeus Tackle, cast with confidence.
It
There
is.
you go.
It is, mate. People must get sick of it after every video that I say it, but it's fun. It's fun.
Bit of fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let's go through pre-fishing and preparations. What did you guys get up to leading into the grand final?
Well, not much. I'm busy working in the shop.
Yeah.
Adam's busy renovating his house.
Yeah,
So
working in renos.
Adam works weekends. I have Mondays off, and we don't get to fish together much anymore. We used to fish a lot. So pre-fish was sort of non-existent. We had a comp there a few weeks ago now.
A few weeks ago now.
Yeah, and that was sort of it. We didn't really do anything else, mate. Yeah, just
we don't
basically.
get time to.
No, we don't. We don't. But basically, it was just looking at the tides, looking at the weather, looking at the wind, all that sort of stuff, and that was our pre-fish, mate.
Okay. And look, in interviewing, talking to you in previous times, I assume you're going to be crabs and mussels or something like that would be your go-to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, mate. That's
what got them anyway.
well, that's what we had tied on.
Yeah,
We did have a couple of jig heads tied on for plastics just in case, and a couple of cranks, but it was always going to be mussels and crabs for us, mate.
Yeah, right. Well, then let's dive straight into comp day. So you got your better of the 2 bags on the Saturday at 3.51. Tell us how the day was. How'd you go?
it was tough at the start.
Yeah, we I don't think we caught our first fish till about 9:30.
Yeah, we pretty much didn't even have our bag until like nearly 11, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So most of our main spots that we sort of like to start at, they just weren't firing.
At all.
And then we went to a couple of secondary spots that we sort of like to fish, and we found them there. I can't even remember. Where did we get our first brim on? Was it a crab?
I think it was a crab, yeah.
Crab on a bridge, and
nothing big.
Nothing big. It wasn't on a bridge, no. It wasn't on the bridge. It was on the rock wall.
Rock wall, yeah.
So we pulled into our sort of, that's a bit of our go-to spot to get some bag fish.
Get a bag fish, yeah.
And I think Dave Masters was sitting on one of my spots that I really like to fish. And I remember asking him, thank God, I said, Dave, are you fishing the whole wall drifting, or are you sort of sitting in that sort of one spot? Because I want to fish it.
Yeah.
And he said, look, mate, I'm probably going to go to that green marker. Anywhere from there on, go for it. So that's what we did. And I think we got 3 fish on that run.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Because, we got 3 fish because I think we finished our bag out on a bridge. So, yeah, that was the morning. Yeah, that was the morning.
Yeah,
basically.
Okay.
It was slow.
It was tough. We found it pretty tough, to be honest. It was a bit of a grind. Slow, steady.
And they weren't feeding hard either.
Oh,
they were just picking at it.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Unbelievable, mate. Yeah, it was just very tap, 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 tap. And we just had to really, it was so slow fishing. It was
slow. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was pretty boring.
Yeah. Pretty much
Yeah,
everyone
right.
we
Awesome.
landed was just on the end of the nose.
Yep.
One treble.
Yep.
That was it.
So
Wow. And was it like natural structure? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, natural structure. Yeah.
Where did you find the fish? Did you find them like high up on the edges, or did you find them deeper in the deeper water?
Yeah, that's something I can't really tell you, Dave. That's a bit of a secret that we like to keep to our own, mate. But no, look, we did find them all over the wall. We found them shallow. We found them deep. We found them...
Or just dependent on the time.
Just depending on where we were fishing at the time, so...
Yeah, okay. So you got your 3 fish and then you went back and fished bridges later? Is that how that rolled?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Which saved the day.
We got the
2 good upgrades. Oh, yeah, 2 good fish.
We did. Yeah, 9. We got a 950 and you got a 720 or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
And that sort of closed out the bag. So we're pretty happy after that. But that 950.
950, yeah.
Oh, man. It was one of those days where...
To the draw.
It was. It was one of those days where I'm sure, Deetha, you know what I'm talking about here, where when you win a comp, everything needs to go right. Those fish, you need to land those fish that would normally put you in a structure or something like that.
Yeah.
And that 950 just gave me hell. Yeah. So 4-pound leader on a bridge, and it took me under the bridge, and I could just feel my leader running through the whole. It was just, you could hear it just going, and I free spooled it. Got it. I thought he'd come out, so I put the reel, engaged the reel again. Nope, still in there. Free spooled it, drove to the bridge, and by some luck, I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know.
It popped off, and
it was like 10 meters out.
Yeah, it was 10 meters, already 10 meters out past the bridge.
Oh, nice.
So I backed the Stella off and
drag right off.
And we just played it out. And you know when you've shredded something and it's got that little ball on the end of the line, you can see all the mate. It was coming up with the leader on the braid and everything. Like I don't know how it happened, and we just slowly, and we put it in the net, and that was the fish that sort of got a second place. Really,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
if we didn't bang that one, we would have been in close.
Yeah,
right. Okay, I was going to say very, very close. Sometimes it's just a hair that makes a difference between winning or losing, sort of thing.
Mate,
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Look, I will say something without trying to sound like a bit of a wanker or anything, Deethy. I don't know if I can say that, but I just recently got a top of the line reel, my first ever top of the line. It was a Stella, right? I just got it, but now I know why you pay the money for those reels, because if I was the drag on that reel was that smooth, and I think that's what helped, as well as the rod. Obviously, I use a Grub Freak with my the Miller Rod's Grub Freak with the crabs on the. No, that was on a muscle, hey?
That was on a muscle.
That was on a muscle.
Yeah.
That was the XFLC on the So Miller Rod and a Stella. It just that you can tell the difference. It just makes a big difference when you got the good quality gear, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say if your leader's been shredded to the point where it's obviously got weak points.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad.
It was bad. I should have kept it. I wish I'd have kept it.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. So, but that's what sort of sealed the deal. And then we got. Do you get the upgrade at the end of the day?
Yeah, I did.
Off the pontoon?
Off the pontoon, yeah.
Yes. So basically we just
got rid of like a 3-something.
390.
Yeah.
390.
Yeah.
So we sort of said, after all that, we could stay on the rock wall and go back to the rock wall and sort of try for those bigger fish. But generally speaking, they're sort of around that 600 to 700 gram mark.
Yeah.
So we thought, you know what, let's go swing for the fences. And we come up good with, I think it was 750 or something.
Yeah, or something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what sort of sealed the bag at the end of the day.
And that was on a pontoon, the last fish?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, we got nothing.
Got nothing.
Nice. When did you stop casting with confidence?
Well, that was last week. That was last week at the other grand final.
Yeah, the old donut.
Oh, the old donut in the harbour. That was there. Anyway, that's another story.
That is another story. That is.
Yeah. But nah, mate, we
fished right at the end.
We did. We fished hard.
Yeah.
We fished hard. And me and Ads fished pretty good together. We're pretty solid in our decision making, I reckon.
On the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Let's roll into day 2. So first of all, before we get there, where were you placed overnight?
Third.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty good position to be in.
Yeah. We're pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Let's roll into day 2. How did day 2 play out? Slightly smaller bag, but still right up there.
Yeah. We sort of made the decision. Yeah, we made the decision to, because I mean, look, Ahmed and Rabi were on the fish. They were on the fish. They had 4.5 kilos.
They worked it out. They were well ahead of the field.
Yeah. So we sort of made a decision to have a crack at it because we'd have to get at least 4.5 kilos to have a shot.
Yeah.
And hope they would have 2.5 or something like that.
Yeah, have a bad day. But
and 4.5 kilos is very doable in our spots that we fish.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd give it a good crack and we swung for the fences early and it didn't pay off.
No. Well, we get 2 fish.
We got 2 fish early and not real big ones.
Not big ones.
And then after that, we sort of looked at each other and said, we need to get a bag if we're going to.
Yeah, if we got half a chance, we need to get a bag.
Yeah, so we gave it a crack in the morning. I think we didn't get our bag till 11:30 from memory.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was another late time getting our bag.
We spent a bit of time trying to get those bigger fish, but it didn't pay off. So we just went.
Plenty of flathead.
Plenty of good flatties. Yeah.
Never caught that many flathead there before.
And then we decided to go to the rock wall and just grind it out.
Okay.
And just drag crabs. And actually, I got a good one on a.
Yeah, you did
on the upgrader moss.
On the upgrader. Yeah.
Off the bridge. So that was a decent one. But they just once that tide stopped, we found it just shut down.
We couldn't even get a nibble or nothing.
Didn't even get not a rattle or anything. So, but then we went just ground it out and just said, well, let's get a bag. And that's what we did in the morning.
Okay. And then if you're upriver, I assume you're throwing crabs.
Crabs, mate. Yeah. Crabs.
Yeah. What are you liking at the moment? Olive or heavy, light?
Mate, they're on all of them, mate. Always heavy.
Yeah.
Always heavy.
Anything with UV in it.
Okay.
Pretty much. The olive UV
was the...
and UV.
Yeah.
Was pretty much the 2 colours. I did get one on the olive, but that was all I had tied on at the time.
Yeah. So, but they're eating everything, mate. I think I got one on a spotted, but just trying to mix things up a little bit, try and aggravate another fish.
Yeah.
So, we got our bag at 11:30 and then we sort of looked at each other and said, well, I don't think we got enough for second place because we're basically fishing for second place.
Yeah.
And
we didn't think we had enough.
Hey. We went chasing. We ran so far. We went Bullaware, we went Cogra, Oatley. We went everywhere. We just didn't go out the front because I don't think that bigger fish were out the front, but more bridges and, mate, we went everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just trying to get that one good fish.
Yeah. Like dead set casting at 5 or 6 pontoons and going, no, this is no good and moving. And just kept trying to, that one bite, just to.
That one fish.
Because I think we had a 490 in the bag.
Yeah, I think so.
That we had to get rid of. And we thought, well, why not do what we normally do and
just see if it paid off.
Yeah. But it didn't. We didn't get a fish after that.
Right. Right. I was waiting for it because like you come in second by 20 grams.
20 grams, man.
Was there an upgrade that?
No.
We wish. We were swinging for it.
So that bag that we had at 11:30 was it.
Was it, yeah.
As you done.
I mean, look, we could have sat there. We could have sat there and ground out maybe another 200 grams on the wall. As I said, they sort of average around that 600 to 700 gram mark. Yeah. We could have ground it out, but as I said, our smallest fish was 490, and then we had a 590, and we're like, is it worth it? And it was getting pretty boring too, to be honest.
Yeah.
The bite is so slow.
Yeah. And when you're bored, you don't fish as well. So we just did what we wanted to do and enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Well, all in all, I mean, you came back in second place. So it was a pretty decent result for a grand final.
Happy with that.
Yeah, can't complain.
Tell us what lines and leaders were you running for the comp?
I was pretty much 4 pound.
Yeah. So we both run X braid and for the braid, and I think we used P.6.
Yeah, P.6.
P.6. And I was using 4 pound Chinu Harris all weekend. I don't know, what leader do you use?
Daiwa,
yeah. And that's what we're running all weekend. Look, the new product on the market is the Shine Away stuff. I did have all Shine Away on my leaders. Look, it's one of those things, Deetha, you can't judge whether it works or not.
Yeah.
It's just put it on and it's that sort of 1% thing that may have made a difference and may have not.
Yeah.
Because I can't say, yes, Deetha, it was the Shine Away that did it, but
because I didn't have it on.
You didn't have it on and you caught just as many fish. So
yeah, right.
But I did rock it, and as I said, I don't know if it made a difference, but it just gives you that little bit extra confidence, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. And it's one of those things, if it helps you catch one of those fish that went in your bag, well, then it's massive.
Yeah. It can't hurt.
It can't hurt.
Like, it's not like it's a $50 product, and you don't go through a lot of it. You don't need much of it. So why not give it a crack, and I'll be using it all the time now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially as the water clears up, as it gets really crystal clear, I think it's going to come into it. So.
100%, mate. 100%. Yeah. But yeah, definitely light leaders was the go. The water was very clear. Very clear.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
All right. Very good. All right. Is there anything else we should discuss with regards to the fishing?
Mate, I think we've covered it.
That's pretty much it, eh?
Yeah, I think we've covered everything. There's nothing special that happened, really.
No, not really. It was tough. It was a grind.
It was a grind. Yeah, it was a grind. Yeah, but other than that, mate, the fishing was what it was. And well done to Ahmed and Rabi for banging it.
They done well.
That was awesome.
Done real well.
Absolutely. Big bags. All right. For coming in second place, what do you get to take home?
We'll just turn around and have a look at the check on the wall at the shop, mate. And that shop's Zeus Tackle, by the way.
Is it right?
And it was 2,600, 2,660 it was.
2,660. That's very, very tidy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get into thanking anybody, tell us about your shop. Tell us where you are, where people can get a hold of you and what your specialties are.
Yeah. So obviously Zeus Tackle in Camden. So shop 18, 1 to 15 Murray Street, Camden, and www.zeustackle.com.au on the web. Mate, I specialize. I've got Yeti. Yeti is a big product in store. I know it's not fishing related, but great product for a lot of fishers, especially
now it's getting warmer.
Now it's getting warmer and stuff. But basically, I do everything. Mainly specialise in the estuary stuff. So your brim, your bass, flathead, jewish, all that sort of stuff. Do game gear as well. But yeah, I've got a really cod as well. I've got a really big thing of cod. Got Daiwa and Shimano on board. Got Miller rods, Costa sunglasses, Smith sunglasses. I've got all the major brands in store, mate.
Very good. I must admit, in seeing you guys online, seeing the photos and stuff, the shop has become very full in the last few months.
Oh, it has, mate. It has. Look, that's through the support of my customers, mate. I've been going for 8 months, and I've got a very loyal customer base that shop with me quite heavily. I really appreciate that. And that's to them that I can actually get the product that they want and they need and expand it. So, yeah, I've had the support and I appreciate that as well.
Very, very good. All right. Well, last thing before we shoot off, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Adam, you want to start?
Well, yeah, you can't go wrong with the fishing partner. Shout out to him.
That's nice.
And then obviously the partners and everything, letting us go out all the time.
Yeah, definitely our wives and son now. You got a son and I got a daughter. So, I mean, we didn't get to see them much all weekend. So that's got to be thankful to them. Yeah. Look, we want to thank, obviously, New South Wales Tournament Series for putting on a pretty good series. Their first series. They had a couple of hiccups along the way, but they rectified them. And I think
overall, it's good.
People enjoyed it. The competitors it was a great feeling. It had that sort of old Southern Bream feel back again, and it was really good tournament series, so I want to thank Grant for putting on that show for us. And Zeus Tackle, of course, just once again, I'll just throw that in there, mate.
Very, very good. All right, guys. Well, look, congratulations on that. It was a good result. Yeah, thanks for coming on, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Deethy.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you, mate.
Take it easy.
Keep doing what you're doing, mate. We love it. I listen to all your podcasts.
Good on you. Thanks, guys.
All right, mate.
Okay, so then coming up in first place, we have Team Smartfish Precision Building Maintenance. Now, they dropped their 5 fish on the Saturday for 4.55, backed it up on Sunday with another 4 kilo bag at 4.26, giving them a total weight of 8.81, including a big brim of 1.3. With me, I have Ahmed Mahfood, mate. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
That's a big win, mate. You're at 2.21 kilos in front. That's a lot.
Yeah. Botany Bay, once you sort of work something out, I think they're capable bags, mate. Last year we struggled there, and this year we hit the New South Wales Tournament Series on the first round or second round. In Botany Bay, we won there as well, with I think it was a 4.8 maybe kilo bag.
Yep.
Yeah, and similar scenarios this round. And yeah, we managed a 4 kilo every day, which was really good.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it put you well ahead. Like, you to win by 2.2 kilos, that's some people didn't even get that for the whole comp.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just the winning margin.
I think it's just maybe local knowledge, just the amount of time I've spent on that waterway. As you know yourself, you start to work out little things and they'll either pay off or they don't. And just take it from there.
Yeah, very, very good. All right, mate, let's get into it. So in terms of pre-fish, what did you do to get out there and have a bit of a look around?
So as you know, I don't usually pre-fish tournaments, but the last 2 grand finals I've gone out just to have a sneak peek on what's going on. So on the Friday, myself and my son, we went out, had a quick live scope and scope around and found a few patches of fish. We found a few patches of fish up the river as well, but I didn't think they'd hold up for 2 days. So we sort of just stuck to the front area and tried to work that out a bit better. And found fish in a couple of bays and a few fish on the bridge as well, which were hard to get them to bite. But we found a few fish around, which was good. It just gives us a bit of confidence for the comp.
Definitely. Was there any size in pre-fish?
Oh, I didn't really fish much in pre-fish. It was more scoping. I did lose 2 big fish. Other than that, I sort of left everything alone. I don't like to touch things really when I know I'm going to hit certain areas. I don't really like to touch them. But live scope doesn't lie, mate. They were there and they were thick in certain areas and some of them look pretty good. So you start working things out on live scope, whether it's a small fish, big fish, active, not active. So just like I said, time on the water, time on the scope, and you sort of work things out.
Very good. And is it, I can't remember what you're running. You're running the Garmin?
I'm running the Garmin setup. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Nice. Let's roll into comp day now. You ended up with a pretty decent bag. Tell us how your day started.
So we wanted to start on the bridge. Reason being was the tide was still running in. It was a start, or maybe an hour or 2 hour delay in the run in tide. So we wanted a high tide to hit other areas. So we thought we'd just spend it on the bridge, knowing there's fish on there, just try to get them to bite. And on day one, we got our fish probably by around, I would say 9:30. We got our 5 fish off the bridge. They weren't big fish, but it was something we had in the bag. So we weren't relying on that to be our main spot or main area that we're going to focus on. So we stayed there till about roughly 9:30, and then we headed towards one of the bays, Woolooware Bay. When that tide come up and that wind come up as well, we had a nor'easter, and it was suited to the way we wanted to fish it. And yeah, so we ended up smacking a few good fish in there. We upgraded our whole bag within maybe an hour in Woolooware Bay, predominantly throwing mussels. We could see the fish, they were active, and and it worked out for us.
Yeah, right. So you're able to see the fish on active target?
Yeah. On the live step, we could see the fish. We could see the fish very clearly, and they were very active at that time. So it was good, yeah.
Okay. With the muss, are you able to see it? Are you able to cast and watch it go down into the fish?
Yeah, so you cast it, watch the fish. You probably couldn't see the muss well because the water's not very deep, but you could see the fish chasing something. And every time you'd hop it or drop it down, you'd see a fish follow it down or whatever it is, and you'd know there's something going on around the lure. So that was the main thing.
Right. And like you said, you upgraded your bag. Did you get many in there, or was it?
We upgraded our whole bag in there, yeah. We got our 5 fish, like I said, within the hour, and it replaced our whole bag. And we sort of left it alone for the next day. Went back to the bridge and literally hung out at the bridge for the rest of the day, which was good. We didn't have to change our bag or get any more big fish. We knew we had 4 and just over 4 kilos, and we thought that would be enough because I called it 3.5 kilos a day to win this. For us to have 4 in the bag, I'm thinking, leave everything alone, and maybe you'll have another chance at them the next day. So yeah, that's exactly what we done, man. We bought some Lebanese pizzas, and we had lunch in the afternoon, and we set up the rods for the next day on the boat, and it was pretty cool, man.
Right, okay.
It's nice being relaxed early, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely good to get a decent.
Doesn't happen, man. Doesn't happen often, so you might as well make the most of it.
Exactly. And tell us, how'd you fish the bridge? How'd you target it?
Everything with live scope on the bridge. So in certain parts of the bridge, you'd find them, they were up high, so we'd throw a plastic at them and try to flutter it down through them. But like I said, there was a lot of fish on the bridge. There was a lot of trevally on the bridge as well, especially the outskirts of it. So if your cast wasn't right in the sticks and on certain sides of the pylons, you'd find that the current would drag it underneath and then the other side would pull it out. So we tried to fish the side that drag underneath just to keep within the brim range, not the actual trevally range. So if you were out, say, a metre past or out of the pylon and you moved the lure pretty quick, you're definitely going to catch a trevally.
Yeah.
It was so thick with trevally. It's this time of the year is known for that anyway. But yeah, so we just try to target the fish on what depth they were at, and we'd throw something according to that depth. So for example, if you're up the top, we'd throw a plastic. If they're in sort of the middle area, you'd throw a crab. And if they're right down the bottom, you throw a muss. So that's how we attacked it. And it didn't really work out good for us. We still caught our fish there, but I know there's quality fish on that bridge, and it just didn't. They didn't want a bar of it, to be honest.
Which bridge were you on? Because I picture you on Captain Cook, but the way you described it, it sounded like Tom Ugley's. Yeah,
so we're on Captain Cook Bridge. So obviously, as you know, from the south side is the shallower side, and the north side is the deeper side. And because there wasn't many people on the bridge, we got the opportunity to sift through all the pylons and try to scrape a bag through. So yeah, that's how it worked out for us.
Very good. And look, one last question before we move off the day. Probably 2 questions. Which muss are you running? You running the standard, the heavy, what are you running?
The OG, mate. The OG. Doesn't matter what colour it is. I think it's more about the shape and the way it sinks. I think Outback's got it pretty down pat with the way it sinks, like an actual mussel. So it's the shape, I think it is, with the way it sinks. They like that. I don't think it matters about colour. Maybe if the tide's running fast, maybe the heavy one might work, but we stick to the OG. So
Okay. And what lines and leaders are you running to extract these guys?
6 and 5 pound.
Right. So not super heavy at all.
No, not heavy at all, no.
Wow.
6 and 5 pound, yeah.
Wow. Did you leave many on the bottom?
On the bridge? No, not really.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't have many opportunities, to be honest. Yeah, so we didn't get many opportunities on the bridge. But the ones we landed, like I said, they weren't big fish. So you'd extract them out pretty easy. But yeah, you want to maximise the bite and go lighter on the leader. The water was pretty clear where we were. So it's just it's the way we fish. I think 5 and 6 pounds the way to go when it's a tough bite, obviously. Yeah, and just stay on the electric. You get a bite, you're going straight out the opposite direction. So it helps a lot.
And with your drag then, how locked up are you?
Oh, it's pretty tight. As soon as you get it out of the structure, I back off straight away. So, yeah, the drag's pretty tight.
Yeah, okay. All right. I have one other question. Oh, yeah. What plastic do you like? What plastic you throwing?
Risky critter. We're throwing the risky critter. Yeah, so in a couple of colours, but I think the camo one was the main one that we were throwing.
Yeah.
But the risky critter was the one we were throwing, yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. That was enough to bring you back with what was a cracking bag. So 4.55. You're already, after day one, it looks like you're a kilo clear.
Yeah, we're about a kilo clear. That's correct.
Yeah, decent margin. All right. Very cool. So what do you guys, so you said you re-rigged on the boat on the Saturday, is that right?
Yeah, correct. In tournament hours, we re-rigged and got ready for the next day. So, yeah, pretty much tied on exactly what we had on day one. So it was pretty good.
Yeah. So that means your night would have been pretty easy then.
It was, man. We went back to Tom Ugley's boat ramp and just watched the trailer down a little bit, and that was it. Went straight home and had a barbecue and went out the next day. So it was pretty good.
Very good. All right. Well, let's go out on Sunday. Tell us how your day started. So obviously the tide's a little bit later. Things are a little bit different. How'd it go for you?
Correct. So we started on the bridge again. Like I said, waiting for that tide to come up in Woolware Bay. The bridge was completely shut down. I think we had our bag off the bridge by about 12:30. And then we went to Woolware Bay and then we extracted, I think, maybe 2 half-decent fish. And then in the last half hour of the day, we went back to the bridge and there was a pylon free because obviously as people come out, it's close to the start line and people want to get on those pylons. And we found a corner empty and pulled out that 1.3 out of the bridge.
Right. Okay. All right. I wasn't expecting that. So okay, tell me about catching that 1.3.
So that 1.3, we seen fish in the back corner of one of the pylons and they were active fish and it was just like they were grouped up right down the bottom as well. So we pitched out a muss and literally just worked the back through them and it's very active, man. As soon as it came through them, they were on it. And I pulled out that 1.3 and that was on 6 pound. But luckily enough, it was at the end of the bridge. So it was right at the back side of the bridge and it literally just swam with the current and straight out. So you get those lucky ones, eh?
That's exactly right. Mate, you would have been jumping around then, I'd imagine.
Well, he upgraded a 26 fork, I think it was.
That's a cracking upgrade.
Yeah, it was a cracking upgrade. And that was in the last half hour. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, mate. All right. Let's run back through the day a little bit. So you started on the bridge and how many did you get there?
We got our bag there by 12:30, yeah.
By 12:30, so late.
Yeah, so late. Yeah, like I said, we could see the fish, but they just didn't want to bite. I think we lost one fish during that time.
Yeah.
It would have been a half-decent fish, but we didn't have our bag till 12:30. So, yeah, our stress levels were through the roof, pretty much.
So, basically, then you were just waiting for the tide to get up.
Just waiting for the tide to get up and, yeah, pretty much just relying on Woolware Bay.
Yeah, wow. Okay. And then I did miss it. So you went back into Woolware Bay and...
We upgraded 2 fish in there. And then, yeah, we left there in the last half hour and went to the bridge and got that 1.3.
Yeah, right. All right. What about losing fish? Do you lose any?
Not in Woolware Bay, but like I said, we lost a fish early off the bridge. I'm not sure if it was a kegger or not, but it felt decent, but it wasn't coming out of the pylons, man.
Fair enough.
Once they got their head down and you got to be on top of it. The thing is when you get a slow day in an area and you're committing to that area, I think you lose a bit of focus. And then if you haven't got a belly in the line or you've got so much slack line out, the fish would have already taken the bait and gone to where it wants to go. And then by the time you wind up that slack, it's already gone. Pretty much. That's how it is.
It's all over.
You've got to be focused all day, especially fishing those sort of areas. And like I said, when it was so slow, you sort of just lose the focus and think about what if this happens and what if that happens and what if something else doesn't fire? What if someone's in another spot? Whatever, you know? And it plays with your mind. So I think you sort of lose that focus and things like that happen. So
yeah, wow. And in watching them on LiveScope, was there a pattern to where they were in terms of the depth on the water column? Were they deep? Were they shallow?
Every pylon was pretty different. So you'd have a pylon, say it'd have scattered fish from the top to the bottom, mainly in the middle of the pylons, like in the middle of, so if we're talking lengthwise in the middle section. And then on another pylon, you'd have them like a grouped up the top, and then you'd have a group in the middle, and then you'd have a couple down the bottom. And they'd be at the end of the pylon.
Yeah.
So it's sort of very weird how they were sitting. And then once the current's running, obviously you can't just drop it straight on their head unless you're targeting the top ones. And I think the top ones were the best way was with the plastic. And then the rest of them, you sort of got to judge with your cast, say 10 meters out. They're a meter in front of the boat. Down the bottom, you cast 10 meters out and then judge it to land at their head pretty much. So yeah, they were scattered throughout the whole bridge. It was different. And I think because the way the bridge set up and the flat you got behind it, I think it is on the deeper side and then on the shallower side, it's pretty much current straight through. And yeah, I just think the way that the fish were set up on that bridge was pretty interesting, especially during the run-in tide. So yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Mate, is there anything else we should discuss on the fishing before we move off?
No, pretty much. I use 8-pound braid and the 5 and 6 pound leader TD zeros in the 24 series, I think it is. The 702, 2 to 4 kilo rods, and they're all Certates and exist that I use, 2500s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like a bit of a softer taper, especially when I'm fishing those type of baits. With the plastics itself, I like a bit quicker. So I use some old school zeros as well, the old silver ones, and their taper's a bit quicker. So yeah, it's pretty much it, man. Fishing terms and scent, we use a bit of ProQR and a bit of the Shimano scent, the Squidgies one, the ProQR, I think it's called. No, not the ProQR, the Shimano one, the Squidgies scent.
The Squidgy scent. Yeah.
The S Factor, that's it.
S Factor, that's the one.
Yeah, so mix up between those two. I didn't think it mattered what scent you were using. It wasn't a scent sort of day. I was just trying to get it in the right place at the right time and have it in front of the fish. So the water was, like I said, was pretty clear. Up the river it wasn't, but where we were, it was pretty clear. And that's pretty much it, fishing-wise. Pretty basic, man, very basic.
So what, like, it's a massive margin. What do you reckon sets you apart, puts you in the driver's seat there?
I think just knowing Woolooware Bay, where they were and when they bit on that first day, especially when that wind come up, and just finding them on LiveScope. I think LiveScope played the massive role.
Yeah.
I think if you didn't have LiveScope, I don't think you'd find the congregation of fish in certain areas. So once you found them, you sort of spot locked on them and really dialed in to what they were doing.
Yeah.
I think that played a big part. And I think the patch that we found was all big fish. Like I said, we had a bag of all 900s and I think one kegger in it, and it got us that 4.5 kilos. So just finding that patch of fish was the thing that set it off for us. And then day 2, I think we got very lucky with that 1.3 at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we did go back to that patch of fish. We did catch 2 of them, and we had just normal fish from the bridge, and then that 1.3. So I think we just got lucky on day 1, to be honest, and then lucky on the last fish on day 2. So I do fish the area quite a lot and sort of know the area well.
Yeah.
And know when things actually turn on in certain locations at certain times, things will happen like that. I didn't expect 5 big fish from Woolooware Bay, but I'm happy it happened for us. So
very good.
Why not?
Very, very good. All right, mate. For coming in first place, what did you get to take home?
I think it was about $4,800 and a bit dollars for first place. And then we obviously got the big bream at 1.3 kilos, which was about $450. So just over $5,000.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty good.
Good couple of weeks, mate.
Yeah, good couple of weeks. Very happy with that.
Very good. Very good. All right, mate. Last thing before we shoot off, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, obviously New South Wales Tournament Series. It was their first year they ran this year, and I think Grant done a really good job of it. The locations were good. The times of the year for the locations were good as well. Having the 2-day events in certain locations was good for us, just to learn bit more about the areas. Like, for example, we fished Sussex Inlet. We struggled for those 2 days.
Yeah.
But then we had a tournament the week after that, and then we learned a lot from those 2 days. So that worked out really good for us. My family and friends, obviously, they support us in what we do. All my sponsors, they know who they are. They help us out during the year. They help us out overseas as well. So next year, we're hoping we've got an invite next year to go to Japan to do a bass round there with the Japanese. And then we got another invite as well to go back to South Africa for the MLF. So Japan MLF and South Africa MLF has invited us next year. I hope that goes well for us. We've learnt a lot from those trips. We've made a lot of good friends as well. Yeah, and all the sponsors that support us, like I said, they help us with those trips as well, with the wrap of the boat and entries and all that sort of thing. So Really grateful to have all those people. And last but not least, Rabi, obviously my partner Rabi, we fish well together. We understand each other. We make decisions together as well. So on locations and when to move and when not to move. And we pull each other up as well. If we're doing something wrong or slacking off, what are you doing, mate? Get off it. So, yeah. So I think that plays a big part of our success this year anyway. Just me and him fishing together was really good this year. So yeah, many more to come.
Awesome. All right, mate. Well done on certainly a cracking couple of weeks and a good year.
Thanks, mate.
And, mate, yeah, good luck in the future. We'll talk soon.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, mate. Okay, so there you have it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Some absolutely cracking fish caught. What I might do is I'll just run through the information I've got in front of me of what's coming up for 2026. So round 1 will be on the 14th and 15th of March, which will be around the time this episode comes out in Lake Macquarie. Round 2, 26th of April on Hawkesbury River. Round 3, the 30th and 31st of May on St. George's Basin. That'll be an interesting round, especially we'll see how that's fishing at that time of year. Round 4, 28th of June on Botany. Great time for that round. Round 5, 12th and 13th of September at Malakuta. Round 6, 26th of October in Sydney Harbour. And the grand final, the 14th and 15th of November at Lake Macquarie. Okay, so that's it for 2025 for the New South Wales Tournament Series. I hope you enjoyed following along with these. I think this series is going to go from strength to strength, and I look forward to looking after them in 2026. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you next week on the Bream Fishing Project.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully you were informed, inspired and entertained. If you were able to learn something or just enjoyed listening, please consider subscribing and rate us on your favourite podcasting platform.